opening thoughts, looking ahead to Navy, and then we'll open up for questions.
Actually, Navy and Grandview this weekend, so we get a lot of guys that get a lot of reps. We're probably going to actually put a couple guys, might do double duty, so they can make weight on Friday night, wrestle, and get up and drive to Grandview Saturday morning. So we're going to get a lot of reps in this weekend. That's the goal, is starting to get a lot of matches. So we're excited about that, and slowly getting everybody, kind of injecting more guys into the lineup and getting closer to figuring out just who is going to be this lineup. So I'm sure you all have questions. I'll let you get to where you want to get.
What were some of those guys who are going to be pulling double duty?
Right now we're looking at Meza. He didn't get a match last weekend because they forfeited. Possibly Riggins, Herrera. Those guys look like kind of for sure right now. Just want to get a lot of reps in right now, and there might be one or two more.
What were some of your key takeaways from Stanford this last Friday?
The first time out is really hard. Stanford had 2 dual meets the weekend before, and I think that played a factor in some of those matches that we lost. When you get guys in the lineup, it's just, you can try to simulate as much as you want to simulate in the room, but until you put them on the scale and they have to walk out the door of Hilton Coliseum or any venue for that matter where it's real, it's just really hard to make it that real. And so the only thing to do is to throw them out there. And Stanford felt it the week before, I'm sure, and we felt it in certain situations. Obviously, we didn't have all the guys we needed to have in there to beat a quality Stanford team, but I thought there was a lot of positive things as well out of that. I really did. And I knew going in, winning and losing, I think I might have said to you all last week that it was going to be a really tough dual meet. I told a lot of people, we got a really good chance of losing this just as easy as winning, and it was going to be a barn burner, and it ended up being a barn burner. So I think I learned that it's nice to have the first rep over with.
You mentioned pulling double duty with Grandview and Navy this weekend. What are some of the things you guys are doing to prepare?
We're going to train our butts off today. Tuesday's a hard training day, so we got a chance to get some good training in this weekend. We didn't take a whole lot of time off. Our day off will be tomorrow, so we didn't take much time off this weekend. We trained on Saturday, and we trained on Sunday, and we trained on Monday, and now it's Tuesday, and then tomorrow we'll shut them down.
How have you seen Evan Frost respond to not being able to wrestle on Friday?
He's done a good job this week, but he equally did a crappy job last week, so now we're at 500, right? So we got to get above 500. I think I said this way back in the press conferences. One thing that won't ever lie to you is a scale, right? Your girlfriend might lie to you, your mom might lie to you, your coach might lie to you, but the scale never lies to you. And so you show up a day after a competition and the scale's double digit from what you weighed when you competed, it's going to be a hard week. And so we have to have discipline. And there's some guys, early in the year, there's a ton of college wrestlers that are pulling weight. And you either buy into the discipline to feel better each week, or else you have a week like he had the week before when he was, I think they went +1. So I think he got away 134 and did a really good job down here to wrestle off. And then 1 week later, fell off a cliff. And, I made him weigh in just because I wanted to torture him a little bit. And then we didn't wrestle him because I wanted to torture him some more. But he wouldn't have won that match. He wasn't in the physical shape. So my job as a coach is to keep him safe. And I didn't wrestle him because I wanted to keep him safe, because that guy probably would have put him in the hospital. So that's my happy version of 133 right there.
How have you seen your guys respond to, working them hard, not giving him that break? I mean, Evan Bachman said out of all his schools, this is the toughest room he's been in. How have you seen them respond to that?
This week has been really good, and for the most part it has been. But you can do everything right for from September 1 to November 1, and you can screw it all up in 2 or 3 days. That's how critical the last couple days preparing before you jump on that scale on a Friday night. So we're working hard. We just got to work smart.
We saw a lot of freshmen take the mat against Stanford. Do you think that experience will prepare them for later this season?
Yes, I do. I think, getting some freshmen out there. I mean, right now, we're probably leaning towards redshirt and Adrian Meza. We're probably leaning towards redshirting Kane Noctaborn, obviously. Obviously with Daniel Herrera leaning to redshirt him, obviously, unless we have some injuries. All those guys right there, I might have missed a freshman, but all those guys that got in there, it was great for them to get the reps because, that's a nice rule that the NCAA threw in a couple years ago where you can have 5 freebies without burning your red shirt. I wish they do that for every class, but right now it's just for true freshmen. So, we're going to take advantage of that.
Evan Bachman came to Iowa State, intentions of being at 197. What can you say about his commitment to move down to 184 to help the team out, strengthen the lineup, and all that?
Well, he's a short little feller, so I thought he was a 184-pounder all the way, but it just took us a little convincing to do it, and I think he's really comfortable there. And I think he's a guy that, he's been pretty disciplined with his weight. So if he can do the same job he's done the last 2 or 3 weeks, the next 2 or 3 weeks going forward, I think he's going to find 184 is going to be a really natural, easy weight for him to compete and train at.
Do you have a health update on some of the guys who were unavailable last week? Are there anyone close? I saw
Yeah.
Swiderski was on the lineup.
Swiderski's, if everything goes well today, he's going to be wrestling this weekend. MJ will be wrestling this weekend. Panero will be wrestling this weekend on Saturday. He's legal to go, ready to go. He's out of the gambling jail. And let's see, Younger is a maybe this weekend. He's been training, he's been back on the mat, but we got to just kind of see how today goes. Today's a big day for us. And who else we got? I think that's the kind of the main guys that were dinged up right now. Jacob Frost is going to wrestle this weekend at Grandview for sure. He was dinged up. So we're on the mend.
When you say this weekend for guys like Swiderski and Gaitan and Younger as well, do you mean on Friday or do you mean for Grandview?
We're going to just
Or play it by ear?
play it by ear, yeah. That's a good way to put it right now. We're going to see what we got today, and we're going to see. We'll get a really hard drill in on Thursday. Like I said, tomorrow will be their day off, and then we'll evaluate Thursday where we're going to send guys. But it's really nice to have such a quality event 25 miles down the road.
What's going on at 125?
We got a 3-way going here right now. Kyson Terrakina is going to be back in, not this week, but next week. He's going to be eligible for 125 next week. So we'll have some wrestle-offs next week to figure out who goes against Iowa. But we got 3 horses in the race now. We got Osmani, we got Meza, and we got Kyson. So we got 3 guys that we like. And 2 of them will wrestle this weekend, and Kyson won't. And then we'll get after it next week and see who the guy is.
Congrats on your recent contract extension. Just how much of that is just a validation, a sign of affirmation that things are headed in the right direction and you're leading things in a good direction for Iowa State wrestling?
Well, I appreciate it. It's it's been fun. We got 7 years down, and I guess we got 4 more to go. So maybe that's my magic number, 11. I was 11 years at Virginia Tech, so maybe I can. That might be a good number to quit. But as long as I'm having fun and healthy, and we're able to do what we need to do to compete at the highest level, this is the place for me right now. So I enjoy it. I'm glad I signed it though before that loss on Friday. So I think the ink was just dry.
Circling back to Evan Bachman, how fun has it been for you to see the way he's acclimated to your team and how he's buying into the program after watching him wrestle against Iowa State for a few years?
I tell you what, he is a worker. The young guys need to watch that old guy train because he can train, and he's a mule. I'm telling you, he is a guy that he's got high goals, high aspirations this year, and I'm excited to see him. I know he's excited for this weekend, and obviously really excited to go to Carver Hawkeye. And he's a guy that's going to help us down the road.
We saw a lot of positives in Stanford with Anthony, Christian, and Daniel's win. How has that kind of motivated them, as well as some of the other guys in the wrestling room, to maybe step it up a little bit and get things rolling?
Well, I thought Christian beating a top 15 guy for a freshman his first time out was good. I still say there's a lot more there. Same thing with Daniel Herrera. He kind of had a mismatch. But, when you get a guy that's not, supposed to do much, you need to go bury him. And he buried him. So, I like that. And who's the other one you asked about? Oh, Anthony. Man, great win over a top 10 guy. So you got a top 10 guy and a top 15 guy. So,
Speaking of Evan Bachman and Christian Carroll, how good is it that they get to compete against each other in the wrestling room? Just because Christian's that young gun who has a lot of ability that we've seen, and Bachman's that old horse that just gets the job done. How good is it that they get to train against each other, that Evan gets to feel a guy like Christian and Christian gets to learn from a guy like Evan?
It's good. The young gun needs to see if he can step up and whoop the old mule, all right? Because I haven't seen that happen yet, so that's me just getting some friendly competition going in the room. That I'm challenging Carroll to step up and match that intensity, and he's close. But you grab Bachman, you got to be ready to go.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.